Hey guys, welcome to the third video where we're going to talk about how to best convert your leads. So I want to run through just like a couple of pretty good expectations to have for I think lead services in general. In the last video we talked about ROI, and ultimately that's all that matters. I mean, if someone gives me 10 leads and I set up one, of course I'd be upset about that. But if their leads cost $1 and every one I set up I book, so I spend $10 to book a job, like I don't care if my conversion is really bad. So ultimately, the only thing that really matters is your return on investment, how much money you have to spend to get how much in revenue. That's ultimately the only thing that matters. But just to have an idea of what would be like a good lead conversion to shoot for is you want to be setting up anywhere from 60 to 80% of your leads into appointments. So if you get 10 leads, that should turn into 6 to 8 appointments. And if you're in that range, you're doing well. And we do have contractors on our service that tell us that they'll set up about 90% or more of our leads into estimates. But if you're in the 60 to 80% range, like I think that's a pretty good number. If you're below that, you're definitely on the lower end. And I think there's absolutely things that you are not doing well or not doing appropriately that's leading to those bad results. So if you're not setting up 60 to 80% of your leads, that should be a little signal to you that there's something to work on with conversion. So we're going to go through the kind of the 4 main things with conversion that we find that really makes the biggest difference. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is contact the leads quickly. And I know you've heard us say this, but when we say quickly, we really mean like within 5 to 10 minutes. If you wait even 2 hours to call lead service leads, a lot of time those leads are gone. And so obviously, sometimes you're in estimates, sometimes you can't call perfect. That's why we don't tell you you're going to be at 100%. But the reality is we send you the lead instantly. So the customer was just on the website when you received the lead. Like they are hot and ready to go. But if you even wait 2 hours, they're off doing something else, and maybe they get a bid here, and then all of a sudden they don't hear from you for a week. They go back to Google and find their last bid, and you never set up the estimate. So it's really important to contact the leads very, very quickly. I think that's about all I have about that. So I mentioned in the last video, one of my business partners who, his first 12 leads, he set up 0 out of 12. He was waiting anywhere from 2 hours to 24 hours to call his leads that week. And once I saw he was over 12, we talked about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to call these immediately. The next week, he actually, his fiance's uncle died. He had to go to Peru for the funeral, and he had an international number. So he was calling me from like a weird phone number, and even calling from a weird phone number in Peru, he was able to set up 6 out of 7 estimates while he was in Peru because he was calling them. I asked him when he got back, what'd you do different? He's like, man, I just called the leads within 5 minutes. Like I called every single one like immediately. So that's the first thing that you got to do. These people are on the site, you got to call them right away. It makes a tremendous difference. And remember, like, if that's hard, okay, if you can't call that quickly, just know like the results are going to go down, and it's not going to be as effective for you if you can't contact the leads quickly. So you really got to take that seriously, or you're kind of throwing money away if you aren't going to contact them really quickly. So make sure to contact them quickly, and by this we mean 5 to 10 minutes. Oops. Sorry about my handwriting, it's terrible. All right, so the second thing here is follow-up. So we want to talk about follow-up. Now, we have painting contractors we talk to that do everything from they call the customer one time and then they never call and never email again. And then we have other painting contractors who call the customer, and if they don't answer, they'll call them 5 more times in a row and like call them all day, like chain call. So we've got people on both extremes, and to be successful is somewhere in the middle where it's a nice, reasonable, responsible, professional follow-up process. Okay, so I'm just going to outline kind of a pretty good follow-up process that you'd want to have. And again, as I mentioned in the first video, adjust. If your conversion is low, try changing things. One of the services that we were using last year, one of the lead services we were using, we had a great deal of success with it last year. And then this year we were doing the same exact thing, but we weren't getting nearly as good of results. So we had to start changing things again. So even the things that might be working right now, you might need to, you always want to be testing and trying to kind of changing things up a little bit to see what works better. That's why it's so important to track. So follow up. So I'll give you a kind of an idea, and then you guys can adjust as you go. So right when you get the lead, So right away, right now, you call. Just right away. And if they don't answer, send them an email. And then maybe later that day, if it was in the morning, like if you got the lead in the morning, you might call at the end of the day after work. Or next day, you drop another call. And then maybe the next day, you drop another call. And you should try to call at different times. Just change your times up. So you don't call someone at 9 a.m. every single day, because if they don't answer at 9 a.m. today, they're probably not going to answer at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So change up when you call. So do a call, send an email, do a call, send an email. And then what I do is I just start doing weekly then. And I'd probably follow up with them for like 3 weeks. I do my follow-up calls, and change that up. So one piece of advice I'd have that we've had a lot of success with is the leads that you haven't been getting a hold of throughout the week, call on Sunday night, Sunday evening. Just make a quick run through your leads. You've already paid for them all. You might as well keep following up with them and literally follow up with your leads until you talk to them and they say, we got our estimate or we don't need one. And you don't need to be rude. So what these calls and emails look like is, hey Jane, this is Eric Barstow calling from Foothills Painting. I just wanted to follow up again. I know you submitted your information that you wanted to get a painting quote for your exterior. Just wanted to see if you still needed to get that quote. Please give me a call back. And if you aren't interested, please just let me know. And if you are, just give me a call back and we can set that up. My number's da-da-da-da-da. And so that's kind of like some of these calls in here, like just friendly. And I'm not trying to pressure them either way. I just want a response. I'm just trying to get them to call me back. Send an email. Hey Jane, Eric Barstow here from Foothills. Just left you another voicemail. Hey, are you still interested in getting that painting estimate? Let me know either way. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Eric. And so this way that you just want to get a response from them one way or the other. Okay, so contact quickly, 5 to 10 minutes. Follow up. We're going to call. We're going to email. We're going to call. We'll call. We'll send another email. And we'll keep calling weekly or twice a week. Try calling on Sunday evenings. Almost everyone is home on Sunday evenings. Almost everybody's home on Sunday evenings. All right, so the third thing is to be professional. That goes a little bit in line with some of the calls I just mentioned. And so you just want to be professional throughout the process. So what I would recommend for your initial phone call to the customer is, we'll talk in sales on the next video. But make sure your phone call is professional. Make sure that you aren't, if you're like in your car, take your Bluetooth off if it's legal to. Roll your windows up. If there's background noise, make sure there's no background noise. That kind of thing. So ring, ring. Hey, Jane. Hey, is this Jane? Hey, Jane. This is Eric Barstow from Foothills Painting. I just got your information through Painter Choice. Yeah, hey. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so I just wanted to set up that estimate with you. Do you have a minute? Okay, great. And then I would say, hey, tell me a little bit more about your project, and da-da-da-da-da, and we start talking. So you want to make sure that you're professional. Don't be unprofessional. You're competing with other people here, so you want to make sure, and you're always competing with other people. You want to make sure that you're professional and present yourself really well. So the fourth thing, all right, so let's say you get started with Painter Choice, and your first 3 leads, you follow all the advice I said. You call them in 5 to 10 minutes, you're following up. You're being professional, you're sending emails, you're doing that, and your first 3 leads, no estimates get set. Call customer service. Call us, please. Like, we're not here trying to screw anyone. In fact, we only succeed if you succeed. So please call us. So that's the best thing. And that happens. Like, you guys, we're not perfect. Leads aren't perfect. The internet's not perfect. Like, shit happens sometimes. And sometimes we get bad leads. Sometimes people go on a bad run. We've had people book huge commercial jobs in their very first lead, and we've also had people get leads and not set up a single estimate out of the first 10, and we work that out with them. So if you're following all this stuff and you're not getting the results, just get in communication with us. This even happens with my business partners. Like, I mean, I'm one of the co-owners of Painter Choice, and I have a business partner who's buying leads from Painter Choice, and we even have bad luck sometimes, and we go on bad runs. And one of my partners recently, we just credited like 5 or 6 leads because there were so many bad leads that had come through, whether it was painters looking for work, or it was just a ton of really weird kind of small projects or odd jobs, and it was just a weird streak of leads. So just talk to us, be in communication with us. If you are doing this, and you're setting up less than 60 to 80% of your leads, then call us. And if you can set up 60 to 80% of your leads with Painter Choice, you should be doing really good. And the reason I say that is because 10 leads is going to cost you $350. And if you set up 6 estimates and you can book 2 of those, you're going to book about $4,000, and just that's a great place to start. And that's if you're only got a $2,000 job size. But in our experience, we've booked some really big jobs here and there with lead services in general and just marketing in general. Is your average job size probably isn't going to be $2,000. It's going to end up being higher because once in a while you're going to get one of those big jobs. But also, you get so much referral work. You get reviews. You get repeat customers. You get word of mouth going from these jobs. So yeah, maybe you pay some money to get a couple jobs, but then how many other jobs is that going to lead to? And that's actually been something that's frustrated us a little bit. Is sometimes we have painting contractors get started who book so many jobs that they get booked up and don't actually need our leads, because then they start working off referral after referral after referral from all the jobs they got from us. So you want to make sure to follow these things. Conversion is everything. Let's talk about sales in the next video. So you can click the button below and head over there. Thanks.